Welcome, everyone, to the Voice of Meaning. We have a very special program, and I'm honored again to interview Tom Muench. Tom was my geography teacher 60 years ago at James DeWitt High School. I interviewed him a year and a half ago under the title My Favorite Teacher, and he taught me another lesson, actually, 60 years later. Tom and I were talking on FaceTime, and I started reminiscing about this and that. And he said, reminiscing is great, but what's more important is a vision for the future. So, Tom, at 87 years old, tell us a little bit about your vision for the future.
Thank you for the introduction. That's very nice, Neil. I'll try not to rock so much today. My wife gave me instructions. A vision for a future is really interesting idea. Frankel's writing reminded me of different visions. Uh, I believe strongly, and I think I always did believe, a vision for the future could be a vision for this afternoon, or it could be a vision 10 years from now. It's first of all, you have to sort of know yourself because it's going to be your vision. I think it's too bad. I've seen through the years some people use their talents just so much and it was so good, and others shy away from it, using the God gifted talent that they were given. And we all have different talents. I think our vision starts with ourselves. How are we going to function to better the life, I hope, of others, but particularly our own life? Uh, we have so much dynamics that go on in the world. And after our recent election, people are going one way or another or whatever. But basically, it has to start with us and keep it in where we can do something. Um, you can just be nice to a person, and that's doing a ton of things. My brother always has mentioned he's a priest and brings up the point that uh, God touches you every single day in different ways. Uh, I think we can expand it in terms of whatever your beliefs are. Every day we have opportunities, and what you're trying to do is do the right thing in the best way you can. There's one vision. Uh, my greater vision is to try to see if we can convey that by showing ourselves, because I truly believe this. I believe this. I've every situation I've been in, I've seen such great people. And so I really believe all of us are great. We all have so much to offer that we should have a vision of what we want to do. COVID taught us a lot of negative. Everybody, I think, was tempted to stop any vision and just take care of yourself and crawl into your own space. We're starting to get over that, but remember that everybody around us has that tendency now to huddle home and not share themselves. People rather work at home than being a building, and they say it's easier, you can do this, you can do that. But all the easier things is for them as a person, not easier for us as a society. I think it limits us. And the more we interact with people, then maybe the more we can hear others. My vision is not to have the perfect world. I used to have that vision. Imperfection's a good thing. We learn from all the mistakes and struggle with the mistakes we've made sometimes and try to learn from them. I think the key to a vision is your mind and where you think you can really have an impact. and I hope it's an impact of a positive way. The sad things about having visions, there are people that have very mean and upsetting visions, and their vision is to do harm. Um, but for the 95% of the people that are just trying to function in life, I think we have to push some to say, come on, you've got the talents, do it. We've got to say to others, you don't retire from life. You don't, like, I'm retired. And that means I'm just going to do what I want to do. Those of us that have been stopped working for a while know that we have to utilize things. I told somebody the other day when I did education sort of crazy because they give you a big bonus to leave when you're on top of things. Um, but I said I can't just build birdhouses. Well, if you're a good birdhouse builder, sure you can. I'm not a, that isn't my deal. What
Well,
do
I
you
think, Tom, you're a great educator, and maybe somebody will tell you to suit up. You're going back in the game.
I'm
Um,
I'm ready.
there we go. I, wonderful. Somebody out there who has a school that needs to benefit from Tom's wisdom. One of the things you've done over the years is you've hosted probably numerous class reunions, and including our own class of 67. We had our 55th reunion in 2022. Do you have any advice to our classes, particularly that's 50 years plus, of how to deepen our connections and maybe have more meaningful reunions?
We happened to talk about this before. I'll never forget one reunion. Those that have gone know that I have everybody tell a little bit about themselves, and it seems to have had a wonderful results. Everybody likes it, and I'll never forget Charlie Breverman standing up and saying, "Wow, you people did all of this," and I mean, he was really like, "Wow, that is really something." And I think that we get an understanding of the diversity of our school. At 40th and 30th reunions, we're past the stage of wanting to impress each other. You and I were talking about, I think it would be fun to try to go back and combine and actually have a workshop, maybe two or three different workshops for variety. Our interest is trying to develop what the vision is for the classes to, and not just the classes, the individuals, what do they see going on in the future? Um, the one thing that uh, I had a history professor tell me, he said, history is so much fun to teach. It's not fun living it. Uh, and now at 87, even though I taught kids history repeats itself, it truly blows my mind. And it does my older students, kids that see that, wow, things repeat and repeat like a continuum of repeating. And it seems to be the same battles are going on. And I think a reunion can be a Friday night fun night and a Saturday night fun night, and maybe a couple of workshops to share what we have learned in our lives. I've also liked the idea we had before of having a Zoom across classes. We did have a 60s reunion. I can't even remember when it was in the 70s that we had it. And it was really interesting because the changes just from 60 to 69 are quite amazing. I don't know if that answers your question. Oh,
Anyway, you're absolutely right. Um, you've said some very, very profound things.
oh,
You
good.
mentioned Frankl. Um, Frankl, in his book Man's Search for Meaning, which, if you have not read, anyone who's not read, highly recommend, said that the people who survived the concentration camps were not the strongest physically. They were the ones that had a vision for the future. And you have said many profound things, Tom. So I want to make this interview kind of short because I plan on playing it over and over and over again with a notebook to distill some of the great things you've said. For instance, we don't retire from life. Very, very profound. And do you have any final thoughts before I publish this in open dialogues with people?
I think it's very important for all of the people, instead of calling them kids, all the people that would be part of this to realize uh, that they're great thinkers. We've, in our classes at JD through the years, and it doesn't mean you were in honors class or anything like that. We got people that think uh, and lead uh, the Southwood Fire Barn. Some of my students have done great leadership in Jamesville Fire Department and do it serving a community. There's a huge vision that was taken from school. And yeah, I just think we've got to get everybody to share their deep thoughts and make it you, not outside, and make it not make it a positive type of thing to help humanity. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Tom. I love it.
Yep.
Until next time,
You
uh,
bet.
Tom Minch and Neil Martin with the Voice of Meaning. And we appreciate your feedback. We appreciate if you have any thoughts about future reunions to put something in the comments with your email address, or you can email the voiceofmeaning@gmail.com. Let's start a dialogue here. Thank
Very
you.